Okay, I don't know what to say, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but this will be my last video of doing the unknown. I just can't bear with how deep complicated this killer is. I tried and tried and tried to love this killer. I even made him at Prestige 21, and I was trying to hit the road with Prestige 100, just like how I'm trying to do with Pyramid Head. And it's not that he's weak. I don't care if I win or lose. It's not that he's a weak killer. But like I mentioned in the what I would change for the unknown video, like I said, he's just so frustrating. I loved this killer when he first came out, and I loved him to death. He was by far the greatest hit Behavior had made. And it's just so sad to see such a killer that is so creepy, that can be very scary with undetectable perks or just stealth perks period, and somehow just becomes so frustrating to play and just non-stop no fun at all, and just feel so bodied I've been playing a lot of Vecta, and while Vecta is very fun, like I love Vecta a lot too. He's very fun as hell. He's just so fun. He's so badass looking, but he just doesn't fit horror atmosphere. I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not really a Dungeons and Dragons person. I've never heard it. I just don't think he fits the horror, but I love his design, I love his voice lines, and I love how his power works. And on top of that, he is very fun and strong too. It's just so sad to see how Unknown looks so scary. Like, the design is perfect, the voice lines are creepy, menacingly, and just overall just the best thing that Behavior had done to him. As even the teasers, they did so many teasers with this killer. Unknown is one of those first killers that had so much teasers compared to other killers, and that's just what makes this killer so special. It just fits him so much of how he is, and how he was teaser did with Behavior, with a bunch of pictures and texts, and then finally he even have his own teaser, and then the official teaser of the chapter. Now when every chapter came out into Dead by Daylight, the first thing I always buy is just a new killer. I often don't even buy new survivors, since I don't always find them interesting, because survivors are survivors. The killers is normally what I find interesting, because each of them have different powers and different playstyles. But this chapter was the first chapter that I have decided to get the new survivor stable. I brought the whole chapter by hand, except for like Myers and Pyramid Head were the only two that I've ever gotten a whole chapter for $7 with only my paycheck, with literally my wallet. The other chapters, especially the Dredge chapter, I didn't even get Hadley. I didn't find the chapter great, even though Dredge was so cool and so scary, and just knowing that reality Dredge doesn't feel good, it's why I didn't buy the whole chapter, and instead I just got Dredge. But Unknown, I had a good feeling in my heart that Unknown was going to be a good killer that is very fun, can be decently strong, and just overall powerful design looking, just so scary, and voice lines so creepy, especially with all the teasers. And plus everybody loved Stable too, and so not only that Unknown was so creepy and brought good horror atmosphere into the game, and the map overall maybe a little bit big, but overall well balanced in my opinion, and I actually like the design of it a lot too. And even on top of that, everybody loved Stable. She was the first goth girl we ever got, and that's why she was very unique to the most community. I just love playing the Unknown a lot, but deep down in my heart, I know I cannot play this killer no more. Excuse me of trying to hold back the tears that I'm trying to speak in the pain of my voice. I tried everything I can to love this killer. The teleportation is so cool. The UVX is a unique shot. But why? Just for the love of God, why does this killer have to be so damn frustrating? I get with Pyramid Head and Huntress, Deathslinger, maybe Nemesis and Trickster, I get all those killers. Why do those killers need to be very rewarding and very precise shots? Like, why is it so hard to hit a survivor with your power with those killers? The reason why is because with Pyramid Head and Huntress, those two killers are so hard to get shots with survivors, but for a good reason. Because survivors can take damage health states, and there's no way recovering back from it. Nemesis has to do 3 hits, so it should be a little bit easier for him to land it, but keep in mind survivors can only get rid of it once, and it's only limited to 4 syringes. But why the hell would Behavior make a killer that does have a good range attack that is very unique with a counterplay of removing the status effect that he applies, his UVX, but they can remove it as much as they want, and on top of that, why make it difficult to hit survivors with the UVX if they can just remove it as many times as they want? It's not like that they can stare at the unknown for like 1 or 2 times and then that's it. They can never stare at him. They're forever stuck being weakened. They can remove the weaken as much as they want. And even if all of these tricks I have done with the unknown, hiding behind walls, spamming my power to be unpredictable, all of these tactics, even pay attention around the map so that I know when to bounce the UVX and stuff, even after I do all of that, it's still frustrating as hell. I tried everything. The playstyle, the perks, I tried everything I can to make this killer less frustrating. But unfortunately, nothing really works. It still feels so frustrating that the fact that they can just run in the open. You can't really hide behind something without knowing if they're going to hold WA. And if they hold WA in the open, they can literally stare at you. And then even if you spam your power like what I was doing earlier, they can still just stare at you. And then even if you shoot it, they're just going to see the shot in time because it's slow. And then they, on top of that, they're doing this, they're dodging your UVX while straight up revealing you to remove the weekend, and then you're back to another 3 shots or 2 just to get it down. It's so frustrating of how every time I even know how to bounce off, if a survivor knows the unknown player is gonna bounce off of something, they'll just run at it. They won't run at it, but they'll hold W out of range of it, and then even if it puts them in a bad spot, unknown is still slowed it down and cannot attack, meaning that it's safe to just run back into a pallet or window and then vault or drop the pallet just in time before the unknown can finally initiate a basic attack. So literally, it's just almost nothing the unknown player can do. Everything the survivor can do in the counterplay is something almost no unknown player can do. I have watched so many unknown players. I have watched so many tactics they do. I have watched how they play unknown and how they play them damn well good. And I tried everything I can to do it. And it's not about if I win or not. I don't care if they survive or not. It's wherever I feel enjoyable of playing this killer. I search and search in my head, in my heart. Do I love this playstyle? Do I think it's enjoyable, and will I stick to it? I tried everything I can, and the only good fun playstyle I always loved to stick was landing incredible shots wherever you're just shooting at a generator airborne and they don't even know, you get double shots for it or so, or you bounce off a UVX off of something and it just lands right into them. Those are the most satisfying moments and satisfying playstyles I love the most. But unfortunately, it's also very frustrating if survivors know you're doing it. And I just can't bear with the frustration. I can't do this no more. I can't play this killer knowing that it's just going to be another day of very big frustration. It's not even the internet. It's not the internet's fault. It's not really that. Even if I have smooth connection, everything I do just feels just so bad still. The games go so bad. This Nancy right here have hold W away. I can't shoot right there because then she'll round the corner and the UVX won't land. Now I'm stuck here, and in the moment I was going to get shot, she revealed me. And now she just ran away. And yes, I can get a basic attack from there. But keep in mind, if she was near a pallet or a window, or mainly just near a pallet somewhere, they could just easily drop it and there's nothing you can do about it but just play around it or just kick it. I feel like the valuable of the UVX is not great and doesn't feel satisfying to use. I had the same issue with Pyramid Head before, but you gotta understand, Pyramid Head has a range attack that can go through collision, and it takes 2 shots before it downs Survivor. So not only it looks lethal, it's actually lethal as hell too. And a good Pyramid Head player can easily destroy the team. Huntress can be scary as hell too. Huntress can throw as far as she wants, like how Unknown can shoot as far as he wants. And hers is just one hit and it deals a health save. It takes 2 health saves. Unknown has to keep shooting at survivors in order to just down them. And most of the time it feels like you're going to be stuck doing a bunch of M1s instead of using your power, and it just doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good. And I get that every killer do need a counterplay, because if a killer has no counterplay, it would be completely unfair for the survivor side. But good God, the counterplay of the Unknown can feel a lot worse. Like, it just feels so punishing. You're punished if they stare at you a lot and then force you to hide behind something like Ghostface. But because of how the reveal mechanic works in this game, and the collision and all of the other crap, it's just so stupid of how survivors can reveal you through walls without staring at you. It's so stupid how they can just look back after they're not staring at you, and then for a second they are still considering staring at you. And that's something what I suggested back into what I would change for the Unknown. This is the reason why I made these changes back at the what I would change for the Unknown. It's the reason why I wanted to remove that dumb revealing effect, lingering crap that has been plaguing the Unknown since he's been released, and why I want to make direct shots more rewarding for Unknown, so that way he doesn't feel too clumsy to play. It's just dumb of how wherever I tried anything I can at possible, it just is so frustrating playing as Unknown. He's just very complicated of how the UVX works. His map mobility teleportation, there's nothing wrong with that. It's very strong, very fast, and can be countered with dispelling, and it's limited with 4. There's nothing wrong with his map mobility, but his UVX has to be so complicated and can be very weak at times, even if you're good, by simply just them countering you. It's like if Flight of the Damned was just useless, completely useless if survivors know how to do against it. That's kind of how the UVX feels. And Unknown just can't do as many shots as he wants with it. Pyramid Head and Huntress, as I mentioned before, it takes 2 shots to down a survivor. Pyramid Head can shoot for walls, Huntress can throw as much as she wants, and her hitboxes are crazy. But not only that, they can shoot as many times they want. Pyramid Head can just shoot as many times as he wants. He can just keep using his power over and over and over again, and even if his power gauge is just completely empty, he can still make a shot. Huntress can throw as many hatchets as she wants, but she has to be careful because there's 7 of them. So I guess she's a little bit limited with that, but even so, good Huntress players know how to dominate survivor teams. Unknown though, it's 7 seconds recharge time. He can't spam his power attack over and over. And I mean, I'm not saying that should be a thing, because survivors need to stare, because survivors had 10 seconds to stare out this killer before he makes another shot. So it would make sense why he needs a cooldown for this. But why the hell is it so difficult to land a UVX shot, and on top of that, not only it's so difficult, but survivors can literally just remove it, and then you have to waste another like 20 seconds, 30 seconds to land another shot. It's so dumb of how it works. Pyramid Head, even if he misses his shot, he can still do another. He can still get a down possibly. Even if he makes a mistake, the only punishment he gets is being slowed down. Unknown, you're punished for being slowed down, but you're punished for having to do an extra shot like a barrier before you can even deal a health state. And it just is so time consuming, and it can feel so much frustrating because you're stuck in one chase over a long period of time. And like I said before, even if you know how to just bounce off of walls with the UVX and to get great shots, survivors, like I said, it's so predictable. It's very reactable. Survivors can literally see it coming, and they can react to it and dodge out of the way before that happens. I just feel like the UVX is just so easy to counter. And not only that, it is so damn easy to see it coming, that's so obvious, that's so easy to counter and just dodge it. Literally, they could also counter the weaken effect, and the Unknown is stuck 7 seconds and cannot use the power and stuck being M1 for at least 7 seconds. This is the reason why I wanted Unknown to have a bigger blast radius, have a 7-second hinder effect with a 97% speed. That way the Unknown can gain the advantage. Why I want his shots to be easier and shit. Why I want it easier to land, like, to make it easier to create more unique shots. And that way Unknown is just not shooting at the open over and over. His UVX can finally be used for creative shots, bouncing right into survivors in unexpected angles. It's very fun of how you can do that, but it's just so difficult to pull it off because some maps don't even have good collision, and so sometimes it just instant explodes rather than just bouncing off of something to that survivor to land a good hit. And if survivors see it coming in time, they'll just run out of it, of the range, and there's nothing you could do about it because you're stuck, being slowed down, cannot attack, and they can easily run back into it and just to make distance against you before you have the chance. So almost everything the Unknown is good at doing, if a survivor capitalizes against it, there's nothing the Unknown player can literally do. It's basically just wonky. And because of all of this is the reason why I'm so frustrated with the Unknown. And the only time I have so much fun playing as the Unknown is if I'm landing great shots with angles and generator snipes. Those are the most satisfying plays you can ever do with his UVX. And unfortunately, those are pretty rare because you never know. It's a guessing game. You don't know if the UVX is actually going to land to snipe a gen. Which, I get it, it's 50-50 there. But why in hell is the UVX going to bounce something if it's not going to do you any good? Why the hell would you make a killer that cannot shoot directly at survivors and has to rely on walls to bounce the UVX if the UVX bounce isn't going to help that much? The only way Unknown is going to be the strongest killer in the game, or at least feel very strong and fun to use, is if you're going up against survivors that don't know how to deal with this killer. If you go up against a survivor team that has no idea how to counter this killer or no idea how to dodge it well, that's when the Unknown valuable comes in. That's when his power feels really good to use. Not really, doesn't have to be very strong, but strong enough where it feels good to use and it feels fun to play this killer. And that's when Unknown can be around like A tier. But if you go up against a survivor team that knows exactly how to go up against this killer, he just gets body did so bad by Swifts. He gets body did so bad by any survivor team that knows how to play with his power. You easily get them revealing you, even if you're good. They'll just easily keep dodging a shot, and most of the time it feels like you're just missing so many shots because of all the things they know how to do. And this is the reason why I wanted to make these changes that I mentioned with the other video, to make direct shots more rewarding and make shots just easier to land overall, even if they know, because they have the chance to remove the weekend. Unknown players, if this change actually happens, then unknown players can only get punished if they don't play right with map geometry or map dependency and all that crap, or if the survivors don't even look back at them. I can't bear with the frustration. I love this killer a lot. I try everything I can to make this killer fun, to make it feel fun and satisfying to play like Vecta, because I had a shit ton fun with Vecta. I realize now I've been playing a lot more Vecta than Unknown. And it's so sad to see that, because Unknown is a very creepy posture killer that was so trailer did by behavior, and it would also be one of those greatest killers that brings a horror atmosphere to the game. And it's just so sad to see it come down where it's so frustrating and people don't like this killer because of how unrewarding he can be, even if you play him correctly. And the ones that main him and stuff are the ones that enjoy how he works and stuff. Which, no offense at all about that. Any player in this game can main any character they want, wherever they feel. But it's just nobody will feel the same way about it, and I get it. It's been like this since DBD first ever came out anyways. But I just hate to see that a good, scary looking killer like the Unknown, that has the creepiest voice lines, that has a good power, can literally be trashed out by good survivors. This killer is only really good to play at low MMR, but in high MMR he can just feel like so trashed out and there's nothing you could do about it. I have to literally sweat my ass off playing this killer in order to have fun, but it's never fun. I never had a playstyle in mind to sweat hard. I really don't like even sweating hard in the first place. I always like to play as a killer that is normally pretty chill, pretty strong, and everything goes in your good way, with counterplay that survivors can use. And the counterplay to save them some extra time instead of you being completely punished. Unknown does not have a counterplay that buys survivors good extra time. Instead, it punishes you completely. If they remove the weekend effect, you're stuck having to do another shot. Now, if they remove the weekend, they're buying themselves extra time, yes. But keep in mind, it's so damn easy to dodge the UVX, and it's so damn hard to land the UVX, so it completely punishes the Unknown so badly, because not only that they can completely remove the status weekend effect over and over as many times as they want, but it's so damn hard to reapply it to the survivor. And that to me is why Unknown feels so frustrating to play, and why not many people want to main this killer except for the ones who are the GOATs. I tried so many times to love this killer. I played him a lot. I tried to love this killer so much that I even made the Unknown compilation video. And I even made what I would change for the Unknown to make him less frustrating. I even planned it to make a guide for this killer. I plan to make a guide for this killer because people seem to be confused on how the bounces work. But man, there's already other YouTubers that already made guides, so I didn't feel like making it, but I was kind of going to make it regardless, just to show how much I love this killer. But now, realizing in reality of how the UVX is so easy to dodge, on top of all of that, it's so easy to remove it, feels completely survivor-sided and unbalanced for the killer. Pyramid Head, Huntress, Deathslinger, any of those killers that have a range attack, they need to be played well if you want to get valuable. They both have strengths and weaknesses. Why do you think Deathslinger and Huntress have 110 movement speed? Because they can be pretty deadly if they're pretty good. A good Deathslinger player can still be able to make the survivor team struggle, yet survivors can still have the chance to buy themselves extra time and chase if he misses a shot. But keep in mind that Huntress can just pull another hatchet out and just try to do it again. Deathslinger has to reload before doing it again. Unknown though, he has to wait for 7 seconds. And during those 7 seconds, you cannot, I repeat, cannot be in the open with survivors. Because during those 7 seconds, before you have the chance to do another UVX shot, they'll just reveal you. And even if you land it, then they buy themselves too much extra time. And I think maybe that's the issue. So this is my last VO of playing the Unknown. I'm pretty much going to quit this killer now because I can't bear with how frustrating he can be because of all of the factors I have mentioned. He just doesn't feel too good to play. Yes, he has insane potential with bounces and overhead shots and be able to penetrate through survivors because of the blast, yet it is so damn easy to counter his power. Literally, just so damn easy. Just look at him to reveal him, and then if he tries to do a UVX shot, oh, just watch where the UVX goes. Oh, just dodge out of the way. And then he can't do another shot within 10 seconds because he's stuck for 7 seconds with it. So I'm gonna stop playing as him now. I can't deal with it no more. And I'm so sad to do this because I love this killer a lot and I didn't want to quit this killer. But good God, every matches I play, even if I win, even if I get a 4K, it doesn't feel good doing so. It doesn't feel good getting a 4K because because of how the Unknown feels frustrating to play. It just doesn't feel good. I may get a 4K, but it doesn't feel good getting it, and as long as I'm not enjoying myself, then I just can't play the killer. So, in all reality, I will love this killer forever in my heart, and I will never forget him.